Okay, I told you in the past that here in Sugar Ride on this channel, a family and their land, that I'd show you not only successes but failures. Now, this is not a total fail, but let me show you why I'm saying it didn't work out like I thought it would. Now, this lettuce here is coming along really well. Some of the lettuce I first put in, but it should be twice that size by now, by the amount of time it's in. Maybe not twice, but I'm just guessing. This lettuce down here I put in last, and the reason I'm saying it's not a success is I had some left over that I decided to put in pots, and then I'll move them to the greenhouse, the outside greenhouse here in a week or so. You can see that this lettuce is much bigger than what's over there in what we called in previous videos the grow chamber. And this lettuce, once it's out in the main greenhouse outside, it will take off. But you can see how big that is compared to this, even the one that looks good. Look how small they are. They're the same age. So what did we determine? I made this potting soil. I had a compost that I bought from the landfill. It was compost made from manure. I mean, it wasn't from, landfill stuff. It was manure compost that they saw, because they have an operation down there where they sell mulch, because they take pallets and trees and whatever, and they have a big grinder and they make piles and piles of mulch, and they sell mulch. Well, this was another product they added, evidently. So it isn't, when I say landfill, it isn't, garbage. Should be good stuff. And I mixed it up, mixer here, and I put peat moss in it and mixed it together to make this soil. So I didn't test it, and I sent for a tester. I'm going to test it. So number one, it could have been the soil that it didn't like. Number two is I had the plastic sides down over it, like you've seen. I'm heating that area up to above 60 degrees. And I had these lights on, which are LED lights, which I knew probably, let me turn them on here, hold on. Which I knew probably was not, the right color of light. I'm missing that word. I'll remember it when I'm done with this video. Spectrum. Probably not the right spectrum. So what I did is I opened up the side and I turned the lights off. The reason I use lights is because we live on the winter side of the mountain and we don't get a lot of sun. Now we're getting into March now. It's the end of February. I think it's the last day of February. We're getting into March, so we get a little more sun. The sun's a little higher in the sky. But I turned the lights off and pulled the sides up, so I did. And especially this lettuce back here really took off in the last week. And these are looking better out here. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't like this light spectrum. is what I'm guessing. So I'm going to have to get different lights. I have a different type of light I use in the basement to get these things started that I can actually adjust the spectrum. I look into them a little. They're LED also. I might look into them a little more and get some more of them and put in here for next winter. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. You know, everything don't turn out the way you plan or hoped it would first shot. And then you work your way through it, you know, unless you're an expert at this stuff. But problem with being an expert at something is I have too many somethings. You know, you had to got sawmill, you like to build things, buildings, you're doing the greenhouse stuff, you know, I have a CNC router I want to learn how to run and make some projects there. We're going to build a 20x20 workshop here come this spring. You know, I'm building a walk-in cooler and a kiln in the basement right now. You know, I can build you a house. I built this house 45 years ago, mostly out of green lumber. But I'm not a carpenter. You know, I can, and you've heard me say that before, I can run greenhouses here in Sugar Run, but I'm certainly not a greenhouse operator. I can get some good produce, which you'll see this summer. We'll have some really good looking stuff, but it doesn't mean I'm an expert at any of this by any means. But we do what we do, and we learn, we fail, we try again, we try to figure out what went wrong, correct it for next time. And like I said, I'm not afraid to show you this failure. I mean, it's easy just to show you all the neat stuff, you know, but that's not what it's all about. This is not reality TV. Like I've said, this is reality, and we live reality, so you know yourself living life that everything doesn't always work out. So I'm not going to try to BS anybody and show a channel that's just all, you know, everything working out hunky-dory, all roses. Speaking of roses, there's a patio rose that, here it is, March, or well, yeah, March, end of February. That will probably, I'm surprised I don't see any yet. That will probably start budding out here in a week or so. I always have a rose on this. This is an old one. It shouldn't need cut off, but I always have a rose. Yeah, well, that's nice. I always have a rose on this that put on Mom's grave on her birthday in April. So anyway, that's what we wanted to talk about today. I'll catch you on the next video.